This week on Cougar Media News,
we take a look at the FTK basketball game.
we dive deeper into the art show.
And meet the musical crew.
Cougar Media News starts now.
Good morning, PHS. This is Quinn Simpson
and Kaylie VanKirk bringing you this week's episode of Cougar Media News.
On February 22nd, a few students were given the opportunity to go on a government and civics-related field trip to Penn State Harrisburg. Staff members Maya, Molly, and Lydia looked into what went on during this trip.
February 22nd, students from the U.S. Gov and Civ classes were selected to go on a field trip to learn more about what they were learning in the classroom and to apply it in real life.
We got to check in with Mrs. Selfsmith to learn more about this field trip.
It was very interactive. The kids would read statements or issues, and then they kind of developed an opinion or a side, and then they would share those with the whole group. We had several schools that were there, so the kids got to kind of see how their opinions fit in with each of those voting amendments.
The students went to Penn State Harrisburg to learn about the Constitution and how it applies to their lives.
Like a lot of the rights and amendments that happened, and we weren't just focusing on the history, we were also talking a lot about our personal beliefs like we do in our class. For Palmyra, it was for the sophomore class in the U.S. Gov and Civ classes that we have this year. The trip related to Gov and Civ because it had a lot to do not just with the Constitution, but everything leading up to the Constitution and everything leading afterwards.
The people that went on this trip were Gov and Civ students from this year who were involved during class.
So we decided to take the kids on this trip because it's focused around the Constitution, but more importantly, the rights in the Constitution, or the amendments actually, that all deal with voting and your voting rights.
This has been Lydia Harner,
Maya Moore,
And Molly Finken,
reporting for Cougar Media News.
That sounds like it was a great learning opportunity. On Friday, March 3rd, CMN staff members attended the FTK charity basketball game. Check out these highlights.
Thank you for participating tonight. We appreciate all the money that's been given. Jose's about to drop. Quick jump in the thighs, 20 more minutes on the high school. I would like 5 seconds to vote.
This was a fun way to raise money for Minithon. Thank you to Mr. Showalter and all of the volunteers for making this event happen. Staff member Gigi visited the Pho Bar Grill in Anvil and is here with her review.
Pho Bar Grill is a new restaurant that opened up last summer. I went in to get some insight on what it's all about.
So we opened up the restaurant in the fall, October 15, 2022. The kind of food that we sell is Asian street food. So what that means is nowadays when you travel, it's more about food. When you walk into big cities, you'll see big vendors, you'll see, food just up and down the street. So all the foods that you would see, smell, and taste, you get here. So you would get skewers, you would get papaya salad, you'll get like a nice stir fry. We have beef carpaccio, we have, awesome drinks. So kind of that street food feel is what you'll find here, such as the Korean wings. Our number one seller is our pad thai. And what makes our pad thai so good is our chef, he actually makes his own pad thai sauce in-house. I think that the community was ready for it. Anvil obviously is considered, a small town setting, and I feel like this town and this community, Lebanon County, is ready for something different. Right now, what you do have is a lot of pizza shops, Italian shops, burger places. You guys do have some dedicated Vietnamese restaurants, but what you don't have is a little mix of everything. So what we offer is Korean, Cambodian, Thai, and Vietnamese. My personal favorite dish would be the papaya salad because I like very original food. So I feel like sometimes what you get in today's world is they westernize everything so that it accommodates the Westerners' palates. But our papaya salad is very authentic, and we didn't deviate at all. So exactly what you get at our restaurant, exactly what you would get if you would travel to Southeast Asia and order it off the streets.
Make sure to stop by and get some of their delicious food. This is Gigi Ayad reporting for Cougar Media News.
Thanks, Gigi. Looks like a place that I'd like to visit. Now over to Carmen with this week's Now You Know.
I'm here with Elise Potter, and she's going to tell us more about her going to states.
So I got 5th place at districts, which means I get to go to states, and states is March 17th at Bucknell University.
Thank you. Now you know.
Good luck at states, Elise. It's the time of the year for the PHS Annual Art Show. Staff member Lily Bingaman found out how to submit pieces to the art show.
Every spring, Palmyra High School hosts an art show to recognize artists in multiple medias. The Art Club is planning this event for April 14th and are currently collecting the various pieces they will be displaying.
The art show is going to be April 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the art wing and around the auditorium. I've been involved in the art show in the past by going to the event and submitting artwork. Students can be a part of the art show by submitting work to Miss Rossi and Miss Vagnarelli by March 31st, and no prior art classes are needed. APR is going to have displays, and Cougar Academy is going to be here, and we are also going to have a food truck, and we may also have live music.
Some students submit personal pieces they created outside of school, and teachers are encouraged to submit artwork as well.
I'm excited to see everyone's works this year because I've seen some very impressive paintings, and I'm entering more stuff this year than last year, so I'm excited for my family to see everything. Every art club we announce that the art show is coming up, and the NAHS members have to frame the paintings and hang them, so everyone helps out with that.
Make sure to contact Mrs. Rossi or Mrs. Vagnarelli if you're interested in participating in the art show. Remember, in order to participate, you must submit artwork by March 31st. See you on the 14th. This is Lily Bingaman reporting for Cougar Media News.
Come see all of the artwork on April 14th from 6 to 8 p.m., and good luck to all of the artists entering pieces into the show.
Staff members Brody and Simone got the chance to sit down with past and present student teachers to discuss their experience.
Every semester, PHS teachers host many students from local colleges and universities to mentor as student teachers in order to gain real experience to prepare them for their future careers in the field of education.
Student teaching in particular, because I was student teaching at Palmyra, it really did help getting a lot of exposure to the specific curriculum. So just being able to have a mentor teacher. My mentor teacher was Prof. Hitz, so that was really, really beneficial.
The student teachers do many things similar to their mentor teachers, while also other things because they are still students, just like us.
We got the chance to sit down with Mrs. Broderick's student teacher, Mr. Arndt, to talk about how he feels PHS will prepare him for his future career as an English educator.
So you have to prepare your lessons, you have to take time to make sure you know what's happening in each class, and get your lessons prepared, get Schoology set up ahead of time so that all of your resources are in it so that students can access it.
Thank you to current student teachers, Mr. Miller, Mr. Arndt, Mr. Shees, and Mrs. Kelball for all their hard work they put in every day. This has been Simone Bucher
and Brody Miller reporting for Cougar Media News.
Thanks, Brody and Simone, and good luck to all of the student teachers. Congratulations to Emily Kiefer for being selected as the Rotary Club Student of the Month for March.
This Saturday, students have the opportunity to take the SATs here at PHS. Learn how to prepare for the upcoming SATs.
The SAT is a standardized test taken by many high schoolers every year that is then used to help with college admissions. We got the chance to sit down with a counselor to learn more about how students can prepare.
So the SAT is for admissions purposes for college. Many colleges now do not require the SAT, but it's just not a bad idea to have the score, see how you do, and then you can make decisions as to whether or not you send the scores to the colleges. It's reading and writing and math. I would suggest going on to collegeboard.org. There's lots of test preparation materials on there. If you took the PSAT, then it personalizes the test results to what you should practice. So the collegeboard.org has lots of free test prep information on their site.
I'm taking the SAT on March 11th at Palmyra, and I'm taking the SAT prep course here to prepare for it. And it's important so I can get into a good college.
I took the SAT sophomore year, and I took it to mainly get into college for all the schools that required it, and I wanted to get some scholarship money too. And when I took it, I got a 1290, so I just think everyone should at least attempt it.
There are many different ways students can study for the SAT. Students can find various tutoring services, books, and online opportunities to help them prepare.
The test is on Saturday, March 11th. Students are to be here by 7:45, but the doors will open at 7:30, so that means a very early morning for everybody. I would suggest a really good night's sleep on Friday night. Eat well the night before, eat a good breakfast the morning of. You can bring snacks. There are breaks during the test. Bring an acceptable calculator, a number 2 pencil, and identification. You have to have the acceptable photo identification and your admission ticket. So I would gather up all that stuff the night before so that you're all ready to go and you don't have to scramble on Saturday morning to get here on time.
You can look on College Board for upcoming dates that you can sign up for the SAT. Good luck to all students taking the SAT this weekend. This is Carmen McConaughey,
Kaylie VanKirk,
and Haley Wallacey,
reporting for Cougar Media News.
Remember to keep those tips in mind when preparing for your test. Let's take a trip into the kitchen with Lucas and Beth as they take on some fun cooking challenges.
Hello PHS and welcome to Wheel of Bake, the cooking show that ruins our food in the best kind of way. Today we're making pretzels, so let's head over to the wheel and see how it's going to screw up this recipe. Oh, and we get blind, deaf, mute. Well, we're gonna need to have a guest host. So blind, deaf, mute is what we got. So we have a special guest. This is Paige. He's the deaf one. He's blasting music in his ears currently. He can't hear a word. So Beth is mute. Cage is deaf. I'm blind. Let's see where this goes. Cross.
How much of this do we need?
Ugh, it's got.
Wait, what does that smell?
It's the yeast. Cage. It's the yeast.
I'm over here.
It's the yeast.
That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is what.
Stir and rest for 5 minutes.
I can see.
I can't. What are you doing?
What?
High five.
Come on.
Step 1. Hello. Right, so the dough has been resting for about an hour. I'm not talking to you. 3, 2, 1. Taste test.
No problem.
That's pretty good.
No problem.
Go. Woo, awesome. We will see you next time here on Wheel of Bake.
That looked like lots of fun. We should give it a try, Kaylie. As college application deadlines are approaching, staff members Maddie, Rowan, and Robbie help to explain the admission process.
Choosing which college you are attending can be a big decision. Recently, students have been deciding where they will be attending this fall.
I'm Lonnie Wise, and I'm going to the University of Iowa in the fall.
My name is William Weber, and I'm going to Penn State, main campus.
I picked Iowa because my family is moving out there in the summer, and it's a really good school for both of the programs that I'm looking at doing.
I'm going to Penn State because it's a local college, and ever since I was a little kid, I've always gone to Penn State games, and I've always thought it was a great environment to go to college, and it has all the programs that I want.
I got a merit scholarship through the honors program at Iowa, and I've applied to some local scholarships, but I haven't got anything back yet.
Guidance Counselor Secretary Mrs. Beidler says she started the scholarship board as a way students at Palmyra could have easy access to information and applications for local scholarships.
So I did apply for a local scholarship, one of the ones that's actually outside of the guidance office, and I also applied for the Pennsylvania State grant, but I wasn't given any scholarships.
Mrs. Beidler said applying for scholarships can be overwhelming, so this was a way to make things easier and more available.
This has been Maddie McKee,
Rowan Fashani,
and Robbie Best,
reporting for Cougar Media News.
Thanks for the helpful information. As the school year is beginning to come to a close, seniors are beginning to feel the effects of senioritis. Staff members Rachel, Ashley, and Dane explain what senioritis is and how it affects students.
Senioritis is a word that is thrown around a lot during high school. It is characterized as a decline in motivation and performance as a student nears graduation. Do students and teachers in Palmyra think it's a real thing?
I think they get tired of working. I can see them wanting to more check out early of school. Sometimes their junior year, not necessarily only senior year. They're done early. It's just a normal experience. By Friday, everyone's tired, and so I just think you get to be a senior and you're ready to move on to the next phase.
I think senioritis takes effect. For me, it was when I got accepted into college because I know my next step, and it's just a matter of finishing school in these last few months.
By senior year, a lot of students are just taking classes that they need to graduate. This includes taking a lot of extracurriculars to fill their schedule.
A lot of people start slacking off, and I think they're just so excited to get out and go to college. Honestly, I think seniors start to develop it during junior year. I don't know, that's just kind of how I felt.
You really notice it second semester, like this semester especially. Teaching mostly upperclassmen, you run into like seniors who are just kind of, they're nearing the end.
Whether it is in your junior year or second semester of your senior year, senioritis seems to take effect in every high school student's experience at PHS. This has been Ashley Yorty,
Rachel Bardsley,
And Dane Braden,
reporting for Cougar Media News.
I don't know about you, Kaylie, but I'm definitely feeling senioritis. With the Oscars this weekend, staff members Maya and Lydia asked PHS students what their Oscar predictions were.
You're here with Maya Moore
and Lydia Harner.
The Oscars are being held on March 12th.
Here are PHS's predictions on the best pictures. I'm here with Piper. And who's going to win best pictures for the Oscars?
Top Gun.
Sydney Sensman.
Alexa Knapp. And who do we think is going to win best picture?
Elvis.
I'm here with
Robbie Best.
And who do you think is going to win best picture?
Top Gun Maverick.
I'm here with
John Cornette.
And who do you think is going to win best picture?
I think it's going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Caleb Crash. Russell Winters.
And what picture do you think is going to win in the Oscars?
Elvis. Top Gun Maverick.
I'm here with
Andrew Manning.
And who do we think is going to win best picture?
Top Gun Maverick.
I wonder who will win Best Picture. I can't wait to see whose predictions were correct. It's more than just the actors on stage that make the musicals at PHS come to life. Staff members Simone and Brody covered what all goes into the production of the musical.
The Palmyra Theatre Stage Crew is a vital part of all theater productions, but they are often not recognized for the hard work they put in for the shows we put on here at PHS.
The crew is made up of a variety of students who all have different roles to keep the show running.
I am responsible for being part of a team that moves one of the bigger pieces on the set. And the other crew members are also responsible for things like making sure that everybody who's going on stage has the right props, and also that everybody's just ready to go when they need to go out.
Students start rehearsing with the cast about a month before the performance and work with the cast and pit to make a strong team that works hard to make the show run smoothly.
They are supervised by stage manager Mr. Fickus, and they are always looking to grow their crew involvement for future seasons. If interested, don't miss this opportunity to get involved in the theater program, even if you don't enjoy acting or singing. What is your favorite part of being involved in crew?
Maybe the people, because everybody's super supportive of each other.
Make sure to check out the cast, crew, and pit in action starting today, March 9th through Sunday, March 12th.
This has been Brody Miller
and Simone Bucher
reporting for Cougar Media News.
Thank you to all of the musical crew who helped to put on a great show.
Minithon is less than 28 days away. You must be registered with $50 in donor drive by this Friday, March 10th to guarantee a t-shirt. See Mrs. Kowalczyk in room 129 if you have questions.
Gabby and Kaylie introduced some of our PHS teachers to a new TikTok trend. Let's check it out.
This is Gabby and Kaylie, and we're going to be walking around and finding a little bit more about our teachers.
Mrs. Self-Smith, who do you think is the funniest teacher in the school?
I think it's Mr. Thomason.
Okay. Mr. Thomason, how do you feel that Mrs. Self-Smith called you the funniest teacher in the school?
I feel honored, but I think it's the right answer.
Who do you think is the kindest teacher in the school?
The kindest teacher in the school gotta be Mrs. Baum.
Mrs. Baum, how do you feel that Mr. Thomason called you the kindest teacher in the school?
Wow, that is a complete honor because I think he's the kindest teacher in the school.
Who do you think is the teacher that drinks the most coffee in a school day?
Mrs. Costello.
Mrs. Costello, how do you feel that Mrs. Baum said that you drank the most coffee in a school day?
I am flattered, honored, not surprised.
Who do you think has the best style?
This is tough, but I pretty much love Mrs. Heberling. She's my school bestie. I love how she dresses. I try to dress like her. I try to be like her because she's the best.
Mrs. Heberling, how do you feel that Mrs. Costello said that you had the best style?
I'm very flattered, but I think Mrs. Costello would probably pick me for a lot of things because she's a really good friend.
What teacher do you think is the most athletic?
From our Friday morning basketball experiences, I'd say Mr. Matthias.
How do you feel that Mrs. Heberling called you the most athletic?
Well, I'm flattered, first of all, but I'm confident in my athletic ability, but I'd have to disagree with her.
This is Gabby
And Kaylie,
reporting for Cougar Media News.
That was a great TikTok, guys. Good luck to the cast and crew of Big Fish this weekend, and remember, there's no school this Friday, March 10th, or Monday, March 13th.
That's all we have for you this week, PHS. Enjoy your 4-day weekend.
Small city thinking, I get why you left. Small-minded people sure know how to drink.